In 2015, it's social media's world, and we're all just living in it. It's rare to meet anyone today who doesn't have either a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram account, or some combination of all or more of the above. These sites are how we communicate, share important news, make plans. At risk of sounding dramatic, these platforms are our lifeline. Unfortunately, this online expansion and transference into Web 2.0 isn't all positive. Increases in platform options leads to an increase in spaces for all types of discourse, including those that may not be positive or have any added value. As an example, I'd imagine we've all been witness to, or possibly even participated in, a Facebook feud that had no reason to happen or could have been solved in a more civilized way. Social media platforms and the accessibility associated with them foster an unhealthy environment of negative and misinformed discourse. There are several facets and contributions to this problem. First, social media platforms are too accessible for the user. Instead of waiting and thinking through an issue, technological affordances associated with media allow users to post instantaneously without buffer. In a CNN article written by Todd Leopold, he details the emergence of pressure into digital communication. Leopold cites science writer James Gleick, who said that the desire to gather and disseminate news has remained constant, but the increase in global platforms and instant access has led to an increase in such dissemination. Psychology professor at Temple University Frank Fartley says it's this increase in global platforms that is a concern, giving people more opportunities to voice grievances. He says since these social outlets are so widespread and so far-reaching, there isn't as much thought and caution placed on what exactly is being put online. Aside from the accessibility and impulsivity of social media, the subject matter of online discourse is not always productive, but rather is dependent on complaints and problems. A New York Times piece authored by Teddy Wayne detailed the notion of the micro-complaint, or small grievances that people share continuously online. He describes that complaining is not a new behavior, but on social media platforms, complaints and requests for sympathy are, quote, legitimized and rewarded in ways we have never seen, end quote. A culture shift has now deemed annoying and unbecoming whining a norm, creating an environment of negativity online. In a 2014 paper in the Journal of Comparative Sociology, which Wayne cites in his article, authors Bradley Campbell and Jason Manning delve into the idea of microaggressions and its place in today's world. The authors say these microaggressions are commonplace daily verbal, behavioral, and environmental negative messages expressed to different races, genders, religious groups, or whoever, whether expressed intentionally or unintentionally. Basically, any communication of hostility towards groups. These actions emphasize a notion of victim culture, which Campbell and Manning say valorize victimhood, as the user focuses solely on emphasizing their own oppression amid community. Not only are these interactions unproductive, but they are fostering a toxic culture centered on negativity and self-pity. These comments and posts are not only ill-placed, but can have detrimental effects. Comments can lead to hurt, as posters are not aware of effects of words. Oftentimes, users only think of themselves, not of the many receivers of their message. An article in The Guardian written by Jessica Eglot surveyed 4,700 teens worldwide about cyberbullying. 1/5 of people who responded and had experienced cyberbullying said it made them consider suicide, and 1/2 said being taunted online is worse than in person. Andrew Dunnett, who is the director of the foundation who administered the survey, attributed the new digital age as a cause of bullying's negative effects, such as lower self-esteem and withdrawal. Dunnett said, in this digital age, cyberbullying troubles many young people more than drug abuse. In a study cited in the Guardian article by a mental health charity, parents said they are worried about drug and alcohol use in their teenagers, while teens themselves said mental health and cyberbullying are among the biggest concerns in their lives. So how can we as fellow social media users help combat this prevalent and toxic environment? 1. Think before you post. Who could your comments affect? When posting on social media, it's sometimes hard to visualize who your comments may be reaching. Think about your audience before posting and decide if you would want everyone you know to read what you're saying. 2. When in doubt, take a step back. Let your feelings sit. See if you still feel the same way in a day or two. The accessibility of social platforms allow instant commenting, but in the heat of the moment, it's best to take a breath before posting something you could possibly regret afterwards. 3. If you feel strongly, do something tangible or say it in person. If you still want to say something, make a comment in person. If you wouldn't feel comfortable saying something to someone's face, you probably shouldn't say it. We're too often shielded by our devices and can hide behind our screens, something Leopold acknowledges in his Times piece. If you feel strong enough about a viewpoint, contemplate saying it in person. Digital communication is a powerful thing. As users, we need to make sure we're careful, mindful, and responsible with what we choose to do with it.